All right. All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Let's Talk Games podcast. I am your host, Kid Smooth, and I got my co-host, Notorious D.
Hello.
R.E., man.
What's going on, player?
And you beat COVID. So that's the
beat COVID, dog. Yes, sir.
Yes.
God is good, dog. For real. But like I said, I really didn't have I didn't have it too bad. Like I really didn't. I had a cough. I had a fever for about 2 days, and that was really it. So yeah, I'm grateful.
Grateful. Same here. I mean, I had a mild case, but hey, when that test came back, my stomach dropped. So
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Special episode today because we are joined by a special guest. We typically don't have guests on the show. This is usually a two-man show battling out, and sometimes we get some hot takes. But we are blessed today to have Hustle and Motivate on tonight.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
I'm good. Am I the first guest?
You are the first guest.
Absolutely.
I'm the inaugural guest. Good. That means y'all think highly of my black ass. Thank you very much, man. Hey, look, I appreciate the opportunity, and I'm actually happy to be here. This is super dope. I've been seeing what y'all been doing for a nice little minute now. Y'all keep this shit up. Like, don't let up on nobody.
Appreciate it.
Don't let up at all. Ladies and gentlemen, I go by the name Hustle and Motivate. You can catch me on YouTube and Twitch under the same names. Hopefully tomorrow, I'll have my first impressions of Aerial Knights Never Yield. So I'm going to drop some content tomorrow. Speaking of tomorrow, Kid Smooth.
Uh-oh. Yeah. I know what you
I believe you have a very special event that will set the internet ablaze. Do you not, sir?
Let's go.
Yes, I have the what the hell, Returnal stream. Actually, I need to start promoting it. I'll after the podcast, I'll post the promotional JPEG and the date, the time. I got to give everybody a time. It's tomorrow for sure, but I'll crack down the time. We'll know after the show. I'll post it on Twitter, and we can get the ball rolling.
Indeed, I can't wait to see it personally. I'm gonna hit that retweet, man. I'm looking forward to this. I'm just going to be real with you. I think you can do it, too. I'm not going to tell you what the game entails. I'm sure you know, but I think you can do it. I think that it's enough time for you to really be okay. I think you can do it.
You played it?
Yeah, I'm pretty bad at it, though. But that was my first, roguelike. No, it's my first one. I didn't really... Yeah, no, I'm pretty bad. Like, listen, I made it further when I didn't know what I was doing. Like, I made it... Well, I almost don't want to spoil. It's on stream for me, but... I made it the furthest when I didn't know what I was doing. Erica was trying to coach me through it. Shout out to Erica for the win. She was trying to coach me through it. I said, let me put the game down for a little bit. Let me play something a little easier, and I'm gonna get back. But it's fun though. It's super fun. But you might get frustrated, but it's a real fun game. It's super addictive, like for real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm going in blind. I haven't even purchased the game yet. So I was holding out to see if PlayStation put it for sale. I don't know what I was thinking. So I'll be buying it. But just so everybody no, I haven't been using this time to practice or to cheat. You can check my account. I haven't played the game. I don't own it yet. I have not even bought it. So I'll buy it tonight so it's installed so that when I'm ready to stream tomorrow, I can just jump in.
Nice.
Shout out to the chat. Active Messiah. He said, finally caught one of these. Sup, Smooth. John Mark Lewis said, I caught it last year, April, when people was dropping like flies. I was scared. He was talking about the COVID.
I bet.
Oh man, yeah. He said, I stream. My stream is always so late. No, this is fairly early.
This is early for us.
Not available at this time. Papacito, what's up? Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that share button. Let your friends and family know we are live. So if they want to enjoy a good conversation about video games and things video games related, that's what we're here for. Now, I got to warn you guys, especially Dre, I'm on some vengeful shit today. So, I mean, We're going to be talking about a couple things. I am going to, obviously got to be respectful of our guest times and make sure we're covering everything. So let's start out. What is everybody playing, man? Let's start with the guests. Hustle, motivate, man. What are you playing? What's occupying your PlayStation, your PC, or your Xbox this week?
Well, what's occupying my PlayStation? I'm trying to get the platinum in Miles Morales. Spider-Man Miles Morales is like the first one I'll get the platinum in. I'm just trying to go back and do some cleanups. I beat that game a little while ago. And PC, playing Aerial Knights Never Yield, man. It's an endless runner made by one person, African-American gentleman. I promise you, man, give it a shot. It's like $10. And the music, oh my God, the music in it, for like an extra $2. You know how Steam get them sales, and it's like it's $2. The music in it is like it's heavily inspired by jazz. Excuse me, and I'm a music head anyway, but like just knowing like the actual backstory, because the Aerial Knight was on the Allos podcast a little while ago, I think back in January. Like just knowing that backstory, like I had to pull up on them day one, man. But it's a fun game though. This is like my first endless runner, man. I just can't wait to get back into it. That'll probably be what I'm doing right after we're finished here. So I'm looking forward to that. And guys can look forward to any content that I choose to drop tomorrow and therefore and thereafter. If you haven't subscribed to me, I think most of you have, but if you haven't, feel free, man. Feel free to go ahead and pull up on your boy one time.
My bad. I gotta grab your channel.
Hey, no problem.
In the chat, and I'll definitely have it in the description once it's on demand. Shout out to Gaming Addict. He said, ask Smooth about his non-tweeting self. That's a inside joke.
What up, Addict?
Dre, what you been playing, man?
Just still on Judgment. Yeah, that's about it. Still on Judgment. So I think I'm just going to just run through the main campaign and finish up the side cases once I beat the game, because this game is long as shit. Like I'm only on chapter 4, so and I think it's like 17 chapters or something like that.
Jesus.
So I'm just like, okay. I'm just gonna have to do the main campaign and then just come back for the side cases. The story is getting good though. The story is really getting good. So that's what I'm on. Judgment. Really good.
I dropped Judgment, not because I wanted to. I think what happened was, when I started Judgment, I had got the early access to the Wrath of the Druids. So that's what stopped me.
I did play that too. I beat that.
What'd you think of it? Because
I thought it was okay. It was just like, are you saying like overall or like just story wise?
I mean story wise, location, the
location was cool. It was just more of the same. The story was, it was okay. Nothing really stood out to me as far as story wise or anything like that. But it was cool. The final boss was decent. It was okay. I was expecting a little more, even with like the armors and stuff like that. I was expecting more, but it's okay for what it is. I ain't got no really.
I thought it was. It's more of the same. It was like an expansion of what you've already done in a different location. Similar scenarios. You know what I mean? Nothing you're doing in this one is different. I do enjoy the characters available in this expansion. I did have a good time with the characters. I loved Clara, however you pronounce her name, and her wonderful accent and her wonderful singing. But the mission structure and the objectives, you just still being a mercenary for all these other kings, just showing how godly you are. Nobody can beat you. They need you to do everything.
I will say that weapon you get when you fight a certain person,
is that one of the things I spoiled?
Crazy.
Is that one of the things I spoiled?
I don't know. I didn't watch. If you did, I didn't watch it. But that weapon is crazy.
You get it when you fight Baylor.
Yeah, something. Yeah. That weapon is crazy. That's my main weapon, right?
I bought it right back to my. It made me want to clean up some things in the base game. I was like, all right, I'm gonna just use this until the next expansion comes out.
It's really good.
Yeah. I've been playing. I've been playing Aerial Knights. The same game, Hustle and Motivate. I've been playing. I played it, enjoyed it, and I'm still playing. I already beat the game. It's a quick game you can run through, but just trying to get all the achievements. I think it's bugged. I think that there's like two. I got 2 more achievements to get, and I just don't know how to get them. One of them, I have to get all the outfits, but I don't know how to get all the outfits. So I just kept playing the game and beating the time and trying different difficulties and to see if it unlocks. But otherwise, the game visual, I appreciate the art style. I appreciate the culture of the game. The music is dope. The dopest soundtrack I've heard in like a video game, especially of that stature. I play the game now just to listen to the music and just because you could get just stuck. You know how you play something just to pass time? Like right now, right? If I wasn't paying attention to like the chat and all this stuff, we would be having this discussion, and I would be playing it. So I was playing when I played it. When we had Weapon Wheel. I was playing it during Weapon Wheel. I played a little bit during playing Xbox. I like it's just this game you could just keep going and going. It has an addictive gameplay loop, but I appreciate a thing about that game. And shout out to Aerial Knight. I think his real name is Neil Jones.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, he black dude, independent, made the game by himself. We're gonna have him on playing Xbox next week. Nice. That's gonna be that's gonna be a good week. So we got a ton of questions for him. Give him a platform to talk about his game, and I also want to ask about the launch of the game because people are starting to catch on, and I'm just looking at the comment section of my review because a lot of comments start to come in now that the game is actually out, and people are telling me that they appreciate the review. Other than that, I played Scarlet Nexus demo. I've been messing around with that. There's a game that just dropped on Game Pass called the Wild at Heart. It's by Humble Games. Cool concept. I was just breaking into that. I kind of want to. The thing is, I'm trying not to. I'm falling back into old bad habits again, Dre. Where
multiple games at a time,
launching multiple games because I started Mass Effect, right? And I'm like, oh damn, I want to play this through. I
want to play that too, but
yeah. I can't. So it's like now I have to decide. All right, once things kind of what am I going to hone in on? Next week, well, obviously starting tomorrow, it's only going to get worse because I got to do Returnal, and that's going to be a week-long affair, depending on how long it takes me to get through this, if I get through it. So that's obviously 100% played through stream. So on my off time, I'll try to focus on something different. Shout out to Big Cloud Gaming. He says, "What's good, homie? Salute." Shout out to Big Cloud Gaming. He's been helping me with a lot of stuff. I think Big Cloud has made my last 5 podcasts, video templates for videos. He made this one. He made the one that I just did with my wife. We did a show, a video on Eddie Murphy versus Jim Carrey.
That's a good video too, by the way. That's a real good video.
Appreciate it. So he came in clutch with that. I was like, dang, I want to do this video with my wife tomorrow. Can you help me with this? Send me an invoice because I try to send money. He's supposed to send me an invoice. Send me an invoice for that because obviously I don't want to have people do me favors and I don't pay them for it. So
yep. Shout out to Big Cloud because he actually did the load. What you see behind me now, he did that for me. He did this shit so fast too. I said I forget what the fuck we was talking about. He was like, "No, I'm just doing this. Hey Hustle, you want this here? Hey Hustle, I'm gonna put Ann over here." I appreciate you. And nah. I definitely, because he helps out a lot of people, man. And we gotta get that man his flowers. Yeah, shout out to Big Cloud. He really that man the plug out here. Yeah, I appreciate that man.
Yeah, so shout out to him. And he also recently, I think, recovered from COVID too. I think about a month back or a few months back. So good to see him up and running, back doing his thing, podcasting. He's on another level now, which is great. I'm always happy to see particular, people, find their lane and own it. You know what I mean? So, and I still gotta. I'm still trying to find myself of what I'm going to do. A lot of people has been really poking at me, and it's starting to get under my skin. But I'm doing a lot of restructuring soon because just to let people know if I put my effort into doing the YouTube how if I want to do YouTube. The thing is, life gets in the way. You do things, and sometimes I'm not as motivated. But if I'm motivated, I will make things happen. So, to you guys, stop sleeping on me. You know who you are. All right. So let's Dre.
Yo.
Last week, right? We had was it last week we had that discussion?
About what?
About this whole thing, or was it a couple weeks ago? The FPS boost discussion and how I had a little rant on the hypocrisy about it. About like, hey, it was a couple episodes ago, right? Mm-hmm. So, Naughty Dog and PlayStation, you know, they announced that Last of Us Part 2 frame rate update for the PlayStation 5. Is it something that everybody's been anticipating? They wanted it. It was like one of the top requested. Oh, I ain't touching Last of Us Part 2 yet again until it get that 60 frames per second update.
Yep.
And it's here. And as I said, it would happen. It's going to trend on Twitter. Everybody's going to be happy and all this other stuff, right? But what was my argument before that happened a couple weeks ago? What was my argument to this?
It was how like how PlayStation gamers shouldn't be excited for a 60 frames patch because they get on Xbox for being excited for FPS boost.
It wasn't
for games for old games.
That's the thing. Oh, it wasn't not that I didn't want them to be excited. I did not want them to stop going that Xbox guys for hyping up FPS boost because it's old game. Because you guys, they're highlighting all you guys are doing is celebrating old games. FPS boost is old games. All right, it's cool and all, but it's old games. It's old games. It was like, okay, and that's all. Right now, everybody's playing. It's not like brand new games are coming out every single day. Like no freaking haymakers are dropping every week. You know what I mean? We're gonna get maybe one a month or one every other month. But so I'm like, okay. If you guys gonna keep shooting this energy out there, like, oh, old games, FPS boost, I don't care, I want new games, all you're doing is setting yourself up for when it's time for PlayStation to revisit an old game and enhance the performance for you guys. So when it's your turn for when that happens, you either have to shut up. You can't say anything at all. You can't say anything at all because we were made to be clowns for hyping FPS boost on 90 plus games just for you guys, not you guys, just for them to dance and parade about a single game getting this update. Now, I had early dibs on this happening, so I made my tweet and then let everybody damage control what everybody did to combat my point of view was. They kept isolating game releases. Like, oh, well, PlayStation released a new game. Okay, I don't care. That has nothing to do.
I was with you on that. I was seeing that too, and everybody kept saying that, so PlayStation is releasing new games, and I don't think that was your point.
No, that wasn't my point.
So I kept seeing people with that rebuttal. And I didn't say anything because you can handle it, yourself. But I was just like, I don't think that's his point at all. I don't because he's not debating. Like, how can you debate about getting new games? How can you be mad about? Getting new games? That didn't make any sense.
I was trying to tell him stop. I was like, stop. We're talking about features now. We now have like for like situations. Xbox games, old X games on Xbox getting boosted FPS. Old games on PlayStation getting an FPS upgrade. These are like for like situations. I'm isolating these updates themselves, but everybody kept pairing our excitement for a platform feature to a game releasing. Like, why do I have to be happy? Why do I need Halo Infinite and Starfield to come out in order to be happy that Record just got boosted to 60 frames per second? I didn't understand that logic. Like, why do I need those games to come out in order to appreciate something I already have being upgraded? And people were like, oh, well, you shouldn't do it till you get new games, don't you? Wouldn't you rather have new games in the FPS or just doing it? I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying, but check this out. Why would I want new games coming at the same time of FPS update. If I had new games, I'm not playing the old games with performance at the time. So I'd rather them update all these games now where there's nothing coming out so I can enjoy those. So by the time the new games come, I can enjoy those. If I was getting these, if let's say if Xbox was, had a front loaded their launch with a bunch of games now, I would have rather obviously brand new games. But I'm not gonna be mad that because they don't have anything that they're treating my existing library. Like why? Like no, okay, great. I'll play that. And then whatever new third-party games that come out, and then when your guys' games come, I'm gonna enjoy those. I don't think having Halo and Starfield and all that stuff would make me appreciate FPS boosts more. If anything, I probably won't get to dive into them if they're all happening simultaneously as the new games releases. It's like everything has to be on pause. I don't know. I didn't understand that logic. Hustle, it looked like you had something that you wanted to get off.
I saw when you tweeted that out, and I saw BG. He was like, oh, what about Xbox's new stuff? I'm like, wait, I said that's not really the argument here. Of course, we would prefer. I say we, but Xbox fans will prefer new titles. But you can't be like Gears 5 is at 120 frames. Oh, look at that old shit. Are you playing that old shit? And then Last of Us 2, which is almost a year old, right? They celebrate. I saw that shit, man. I know it's old. Yeah. It's old, but from what I understand, it's a really good game too. But like, come on, man! Like, cut the bullshit, dog. Like, it is okay to see that game be at 60 frames. Let me not say, because I'm always about performance anyway. Yeah, it's okay to see that. It's even okay to see Part 1 get a remake or whatever, right? But like, Smooth, like the hit you caught behind that, I was like, God damn, like for like the first time, because normally I think you be backing yourself into a corner, right? But this was like the one time I was just looking. I said, well, let me not say much. And it was just like, we saw like the level of like hypocrisy. We saw that shit switch. And I ain't talking about BG in particular. I'm just talking about a few people who commented. I said, what the fuck is going on here? I'm like, hey, it's cool and it's dope that that a game of that stature is. I say adjusted due to the next gen hardware or current gen hardware. Yeah. That's cool. That's dope. But goddamn it, don't attack this man. Please don't do it. Oh, Smooth. Oh, trust me. If you want some bullshit, you already know I'm gonna jump in the mentions. Like, we gonna be real. But this time you wasn't, man. This time you wasn't. Like I don't. Them PlayStation dudes, man.
I'm gonna be honest too, though. I'm gonna be honest. I was expecting.
Right back, guys. I'm gonna need y'all to rap for me. I'm gonna have to go grab something.
Yeah, I was expecting more. Like the 60 FPS is cool. Don't get me wrong about that. That's cool. But this is The Last of Us. Like I was expecting like a total facelift, like textures and upgraded character models. Like I was expecting the works. So I'm kind like like I said. Don't get me wrong. The 60 frames is good. I actually re-downloaded it and tried it. It plays better than ever, obviously. But I personally was just expecting them to do more because it's a game like The Last of Us.
Aside from Smooth's tweet, aside from that, ladies and gentlemen, if you are a fan of The Last of Us Part 2. We can't forget that Neil Druckmann still ain't said shit about Factions 2 yet.
That's right.
It's been how long? That's crazy, dog. And I ain't finna hold you. If Halo would have did this shit, if Halo went from they did that and they put out the multiplayer till much later, I'm leaning on Halo for that, man. And I see a lot of people fighting the good fight on Twitter. BG, he oh my God, he be on. So I'm surprised son ain't Neil Druckmann ain't blocked son, because he be on him. But it is what it is. I just don't like the whole like rollout for that game in particular, because you remember how that game rolled out. It was, we're going to delay it, then it got leaked, and I'm a Last of Us fan, by the way. I love Last of Us Part 1 is my favorite game. So when I critique that, I'm trying to be as critical as I can without just like going out the window. The whole entire rollout, even though I understand it's a really good game and they've improved gameplay mechanics and everything, but that whole rollout was kind of bad in terms of like everything that happened.
So one saving grace that I did see on Twitter is that they are marketing this upgrade as a PS4 version upgrade, right? That's got a lot of people thinking that there will be like a native PS5 version of The Last of Us 2. So more than likely, Factions 2 it's still coming. And so like some people are thinking that it's so you got the rumored remake for The Last of Us, right? Mm-hmm. And so some people are thinking that it's all going to be bundled. Like we're going to have a PS5 version of The Last of Us bundled with the remake, and then come in with Factions 2. So
I'm about to cop that. I'm gonna definitely cop that because I completely forgot that PlayStation had it was like a separate studio who didn't know what they were working on, so they did The Last of Us on their own. I completely forgot about that, and then I think people ended up leaving because Jason Schreier did an article in regards to that, but people ended up leaving.
It's back at Naughty Dog. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because Naughty Dog was taking control. Listen, I'm off. Like I really just want to speak not as a fan of any particular console, but just as a consumer. Like it's always, I want to get the record straight. It's always good when we see other games like take advantage of like newer hardware, man, and get that patch or get that upgrade. Like that's dope to me. That's always gonna be dope. You'll never hear me argue that.
Same here.
They're gonna put these games on PC at some point. We heard Jim Ryan, or who was it? Herman Host. It was Herman Host or Jim Ryan who said whole slate in that G.
Whole slate.
Jim Ryan.
It was one of them.
Whole slate.
It was one of them, and it's over. Like it's over. And I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna buy the OG trilogy, or that's an OG trilogy. I'm gonna get The Last of Us Part 1 when they remake it on PS5. I'm gonna get Part 2 again. I'll get it. And I'm gonna get them all on PC again, though. Like I'm just gonna do that just to support Naughty Dog because I enjoy the products that they put out, man. I'm looking forward to it, man. Because I was gonna cop the game, but like from what I hear,
you haven't played it yet?
No, sir. No, sir.
Oh, man.
I will tell you why I haven't played it. I'm too attached to Ellie as a character. I know what happens to Joel. I don't really got an issue with that, but
I think you're gonna like. I think you're gonna like her even. Well, I won't. Towards the ending, some people got they sensitive about the ending, but I think you're gonna like her as a character even more.
I heard I hear different because I saw BG play it. I saw Erica play it.
Oh,
it was no. I know what happens. And when I saw it, I was like, I don't know, but like there are parts in that game to where like Neil Druckmann, he and that crew over there, they make you feel shit. I don't know if I want to feel like that way again because like I felt shit in the first one, like that I was talking about earlier today, and yeah, I don't know if I want to feel like that sad again. I'm a copy. I'm a copy. It's like $30 or whatever, man, but. I gotta make sure I'm emotionally ready for that because, like I said, I'm heavily invested in the Ellie. I mean, it was fucked up what they did to Sam and Henry or whatever. If y'all played, you played the first one and beat it or whatever. You knew what happened.
Yeah, I binged the month of June. I binged The Last of Us. I did the challenge on Grounded, and then I turned around and did the DLC, the story. Thank you.
Like Left Behind or something like that.
Story. I did that on right after that wasn't a part of the challenge. That was just like a bonus stream I did, and then I right after that, Last of Us Part 2 came out, and I played that entire game on stream. I took no breaks every day. Streamed it 5 hours. I mean, nobody watched because obviously spoilers and stuff like that. But the stream is still up. I played that entire game on stream.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I would never critique it in terms of gameplay because it seemed like they fixed everything with the first one from the research that I did.
Oh yeah,
but that story though, I don't know. They made Ellie look away, and I'm like, I ain't finna hold you. I am attached. I'm super attached. Like if I can let that attachment go, I can just be like, cool. Let me just go ahead first, and I can just enjoy whatever. But I get to it. I just want to.
Okay.
Yeah, like I tweeted out a little while ago. I said Naughty Dog like spoiled me in terms of like story with The Last of Us 1. Because to me, it was so good. I know BG, he got his feelings on it. Shout out to him. But for me, like, I ain't never had an action game like that put me through like such a range of emotions. It put me through the emotions like Life is Strange did. And then, just like moments like that, like the highs and the lows, and you saw me laugh, you saw me cry, and I'll put those streams back out at some point. But that's dope to me. And for them to make you, because they make you, shout out to Naughty Dog, because they made you grow attached to those characters there. And for them to, I would say shit it away, but for them to change certain things, I gotta make sure I'm ready for that. That's all.
I'm not even gonna hold you, Hustle. I didn't really feel I didn't really feel nothing with The Last of Us Part 1, dog. I ain't like no part of that game got me emotional.
Oh my god!
Like, none, no parts.
If the two black people didn't really get you, when what's his name had to kill his little brother and then he killed himself. When Joe was in the hospital, was like, "Where's she at?" And he had the gun to homie's stomach, popping him in the stomach and shit, like Raheem and all that. He was
like the only game that I've gotten somewhat emotional was the ending of Final Fantasy 15. That's it. Like that's the only game. 15. Yeah, that's the only game that made me like feel like do anything emotionally.
Yeah, I mean, I played. All right, so I didn't feel anything in Last of Us 1. Like I understood it. It made you grow, and I played them all close apart. So I felt like I had like a not, I don't want to say bond, but I kind of all the games all came together all at once for me, right? So the first one, the ones that were high parts, was obviously the opening scene in the Last of Us 1, with Joel's daughter and all that stuff. And then you watch the relationship between him and Ellie, but it was like, all right, cool, great game. I mean, I have nothing. It was one of the obviously one of the better games that I played. Part 2, however, that I don't want to say it had me on an emotional roller coaster. It had me on a roller coaster. Like, do any of you guys watch Power?
I used to, yeah.
So Power Book 2, The Ghost, right? With his son, right?
Oh,
that had, a lot of those episodes, especially towards the end of the season, had me like kind of like just like on edge, on ease, like God, like my nerves was getting to me. And The Last of Us Part 2 did that as well. It was like, damn, I was like, it was so much. But the problem with Last of Us 2, I felt like the game was too long. And it was a stressful game. Great game, but it was very stressful. And I was like, I love this game, but I don't see myself playing it again. It's not a game that I can go back and replay the whole and go through all of that again. Even though it has a great gameplay, great visuals, and sure, I'm gonna boot it up again on PS5 just to see how fluid it works with 60 frames per second. But I doubt I'm playing through the entire story again.
Like I told, so let me ask you, Smooth. What I was telling Hustle, I was expecting more out of the PS5 update than just the 60 frames. Like I was expecting more as far as like upgraded textures and upgraded character models and just more technical things because to take advantage of the PS5. So, like, what do you think? Like, is these 60 frames good enough?
I mean, hey, I'm gonna say this. According to the PlayStation, guys, the PlayStation Mafia, The Last of Us Part 2 is the up until because right now they kind of update this as exclusives comes out, right? But I remember The Last of Us Part 2 being the best looking game ever, and that it was already next gen. And I think I even said it's the preview to next gen, right? So the only thing that was missing from it was performance. So technically, it should be fine. I mean, I don't think what else could they have done? Could they have made it 4K? Probably.
They could have made it look like E3, that E3 demo. You know what oh,
shit.
Right now, it's the PS4 Pro game. Running at 60 frames per second. It's the same, and I know a lot of people got hoodwinked because they was advertising it as enhanced resolutions, right? But they were saying that from a perspective as people going from base PS4 to PS5, because the enhanced resolutions are already existed on PS4 Pro, which is at 30 frames per second. It was 1440p 30, right?
1440p, yep.
But majority of the people, because not many people bought the PS4 Pro, to be honest. The majority of the people that played The Last of Us played on the PS4, so they was like, okay, well, it's going to have the PS4 Pro visuals. That's going to be enhanced resolution. So, and then obviously 60 frames per second. So to them, technically, a lot of people that's going to experience on the PS5, are going to experience enhanced resolutions, but they're not new. They didn't go back. They didn't change the graphics to the game. I know Optimus Code, I have to call him out on this. He put out a tweet and where he highlighted when he said PlayStation's backwards compatibility games are better than what Xbox has.
Well,
I knew where he was going there because if he's arguing about obviously the PS4 library is better than Xbox One's first party
about
library.
It from that perspective.
That was the direction he was taking it, but I knew what he was trying to. He was trying to trigger people. But I was like, yeah, if you're gonna compare those games to what, you're absolutely right.
Okay, I see what you said. Okay.
I was like, I'm not gonna hit him on that. But the flaw in his tweet was he had enhanced resolutions and better frame rates and stuff. But I'm like, just to give you a heads up, each one of those games that they updated the frame rate for did not change the resolution. The resolutions has not been touched. No visual quality has been updated to any of them. So I want you to, if you put that game side by side with the PS4 Pro, it's going to look exactly the same. It's just when you start putting it in motion, when the character's got to move, you're going to see, okay, 60 frames, 30 frames. But yeah, when PlayStation go back and update these games to 60 frames per second, yes, they have to do a little bit more than the FPS boost. They have to go back, pretty much unlock the frame rate on PS4 Pro so that it can run 60 frames on the PS5. That's what's taking place. It's not that they're optimizing it for PS5. What they're doing is they're going back to the PS4 Pro code and unlocking a frame rate. Sure, PS4 Pro ain't going to hit 60, but it will hit 60 on the PS5, and it's good. And I do appreciate that method. Microsoft did do that with their newer games that came out between 2018 and 2020. They did that for prior to the FPS boost. But yeah, they're not changing the resolutions. It's great. These games still look good. They're going to age very well. But yeah, I mean, with Dre, what you want sort of a remaster of what they did with the first, what they did with the first game when the PS4 came out. I think a couple months after the PS4 came out, they had Last of Us Remastered ready.
Right, correct.
And you wanted pretty much the same sort of treatment.
Treatment, yes.
Yeah, and I thought they were going to do that. I thought that's how factions was going to come into play.
And so, the way that like I was telling Hustle, the way that they are marketing the update is they state enhanced PS4 version. So that makes me believe that hopefully a proper native PS5 version is in the works. Like they gotta be, like, cause Factions 2 is coming out, and this
what if the Factions is just a free to play?
Hey, that would be I would be cool.
I think at this point it kind of need to be. I was telling Dre earlier when you stepped away, Smooth. Can you imagine if Halo Infinite came out with just a single player and you had to wait however long it's been now for a multiplayer? Hey, yo, they'd be getting killed for that. Now I don't want to make this like a fanboy console war type thing or whatever. That's not what I'm trying to do. But I feel like we got to demand more. Like if you're a paying customer, like this joint come with a multiplayer, like just drop. I would much rather you drop it when it's done at that point. But I mean, I understand like the game got leaked and it's a lot of stuff that happened. But people who got to be on Naughty Dog. And I was saying it earlier that BG, every time Neil Druckmann tweet, a man like Factions 2 with what's his name, Daniel Kaluuya, and that damn meme. He was looking at him all, he mugging him and shit. I'm like, cool. I'm with that energy, but I understand it because you know what you expect. And I'll be real with you, man. PlayStation, when it comes to multiplayer, and this ain't no hatred. They not really. I'm not gonna say they're not. Yeah, they don't really do it like Xbox does it, and people can say what they will about the Xbox titles. I'm a Gears head. Ain't nobody playing that shit with me, right? Mm-hmm. You can say what you will, but it seems like Microsoft always got like or Xbox rather always has like that multiplayer joint. They always got something that'll keep you coming back, whether it's Halo, Gears, or Forza. Shout out to you, Smooth, for that. Whether it's one of those or whether it'll be one of the new titles, like I'm almost sure Perfect Dark is gonna have it. I would be surprised if it didn't. It will be a fucking miss. The same thing with Doom. It will be a miss if Doom didn't have it. But Sony gotta get back on that, man. And it's just as consumers, we gotta like demand more. Like, if one company's doing one thing, hey, the other company need to do that shit too. I don't give a fuck how you do it.
Yeah,
I don't care how long it's gonna take. You better get it though.
The crazy thing about PS Plus, right? Because I think it's a valuable, but for PlayStation customers, you're really using PS Plus for cloud saves and the free games that they give you. Because that's how I screwed myself. I was like, you know what? I don't play multiplayer on PlayStation. Why am I playing for PS Plus? I don't need it, right? So I canceled it. So this whole the last 2 years of me playing on PlayStation 4, and I'm buying all these games, I forgot that this whole cloud save thing wasn't a thing without PS Plus. So when it came time for PS5, I was like, you know what? It's a new console. I'm gonna renew my PS Plus now. And I'm watching everybody getting their duplicated trophies or for Spider-Man Remastered if they bring their sales there. I tried to do that shit and I'm like, what do you mean I ain't got no sales? I'm like, what they talking? I beat the game. And I'm looking at, and then I went back and I was like, oh, I know what game I played. I went to The Last of Us. No save. I went to The Last of Us Part 1, the first one. And this is what I knew I screwed myself. The save was from when I first bought a PS4. And it came with The Last of Us, that bundle back in 2014 and 15. And I saw the save the save date, and I'm like, I beat this game, no. I beat it on grounded, and I saw the save date. It said like I had like 5 hours in the game, and I'm like, oh, I get what happened. I canceled my PS Plus like a couple years ago, so all that shit I don't have access to. So yeah, PS Plus for me, like I said, I need PS Plus for the necessity of cloud saves and free games that I might get. So, but multiplayer, yeah, I thought I didn't need it because I don't play multiplayer games on PlayStation like that. And but it's a necessity for like cloud saves and free games.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all heard like the story that I had, but I had like 50 hours in like Persona 5, right? The vanilla edition. You know, excuse me. You know, I traded in my PS4 Pro. The day the PS5s went live, I traded my joint there. I didn't back none of that shit up to the cloud because I didn't think you had to. Because you know, with Xbox, you didn't have to do that. It was just you log back into your Xbox account and then there it go. Bruh, I missed all that shit. I held the biggest L, you know, and I have yet to go back to Persona 5. And I like that game, by the way. I like it a lot. You gotta see my shit over here. But like, I like it a lot. It's just like, yo, I might as well just start Royale at that point. Like it was pretty bad, man. And like what was that? The Order 1886 was another. Not damn, it was at the end of that joint. That game ain't been so long. I damn it was at the end of that joint, and I could have back on. Nah, hustle. It was nothing was there, dog. I said, God damn it. I said never again, man. I jolly wanted to curse somebody the fuck out. I'm like, come on, man. Like that, because it's one of them things that you don't even think about. Yeah. Like why would I have to think about a cloud save? Like if it's already there,
it should just be free. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wild, man.
But so oh man, Dre, I saw you on Xbox the other day playing NBA Live. When you gonna give me the? When you gonna give me? Because
listen, okay, hold on, okay. So I played 2 online matches, right? Hold on. First of all, before I get into that, first of all, the game is dog shit. Right? The game sucks.
Of course it is now. It's 3 years old. It's like 3-4 years old.
The animations are absolutely god awful in that game. And I'm trying to use the stick to do like crossovers and shit. The shit barely work. So I'm just like, oh my god. First, this game just sucks, right? So okay, so I played 2 online matches, and the first game, dude quit. I was kicking his ass. And the second game, I just won straight out. So I'm gonna play one more match, and I'm letting you know right now. I play with the Nets. All right, KD, my favorite player, so I play with the Nets. All right. So I'm gonna play one more match online just so I can get like really used to it. Then I'm gonna send you that invite.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Hey, hold on. NBA Live or NBA Live or NBA 2K?
Live.
NBA Live.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Live is in Game Pass, so Dre when he plays on Xbox, he's only playing Game Pass games. He hasn't bought a game. He hasn't bought a single game.
As you should. It's a lot of it there.
That's what it's there for, right?
I saw hey Dre, I think both of y'all. I know Smooth, I know you play Gears Hive Busters, but Dre, I think you beat that too, right?
Yeah, me and Smooth, at the same time. We stayed up till it was like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, that was so unresponsible for me. So irresponsible.
Yeah.
Yo, that. I ain't finna hold you. So I ain't never played like a Gears campaign, but that joint made me want to go play all the other campaigns. And I'm actually gonna do that a little bit later this year. But that joint fire, dog. And,
it was cool.
Shout out to the coalition for that, because like they masters at their UE4 shit. And I know they moving to the UE5. That shit, it looked really good. I know people one of people's like complaints were from like the OG trilogy. It was like they seemed like it was like a lot more detail, and this one is like a lot more colorful, a lot less detail. I'm still with the shits though. Like I love that game. Like I got it up on the channel. Me, Merk, and Erica, we ran through it. I ain't never had so much fun in my life, dog. I ain't finna hold you. That shit was fire, boy.
They did good on that. They definitely did good on that.
Yeah, my only complaint was that they made you care about the characters like toward the end of the game. I know if you walk through that green fog or that mist or whatever the fuck that was, they'll whatever character you had, they'll be like, hey, this is what happened. Or they'll have those thoughts, right? Those have those thoughts, but. Nah, it's cool. Like I'm looking forward to what the Coalition do. Like Coalition, y'all like my favorite Xbox studio. I ain't finna hold you. I think they, and I don't know how y'all feel about it, but I think they got the top spot over there at Microsoft. I'm just gonna keep it all the way a buck with you.
I mean, to be fair, in terms of production, right? I think they're Xbox's most productive studio. Their most efficient studio. They carried the Xbox One generation. Literally carried the Xbox One generation. There's only been one Halo game during the Xbox One generation. There's been about 3.5 Gears games during the Xbox One generation. And yeah, they're the masters of the Unreal Engine. They're outside of Epic, they're the best developers with that engine. They're the best studio with that engine outside of Epic. Crazy thing is majority of them are from Epic. so they help build it.
Oh, okay.
So there is this game has came up in discussion a couple times, Dre, because we talked about it. Of like, are you gonna get it? You interested in this game? And that game is Biomutant. And this game, just wherever it was on a radar, this shot.
I think it's still trending on Twitter right now.
Yo, this game, we all had our eyes on, but we were teetering back because we didn't know how if this 30 frames, I ain't getting it. That was our thing was we needed to verify is this going to be 60 frames? Because I was like, I don't know if I want to buy a last it's the last gen game, right? But it looks interesting, intriguing, and whatnot. It looks good, but I was like, when's it running? So we got the confirmations and stuff like that. But the way they were doing it, right? They were talking about now. Shout out to THQ Nordic and the Biomutant, whoever's handling the social media team right now, bro.
They going the fuck in. I'm
like, yo, these what?
Yeah.
They're very transparent. They're speaking to everyone. They're answering questions. And then if somebody got smoke with them, they ready to smack them back. So Biomutant. All right, so they've been releasing these trailers one by one, gameplay of different platforms. PS4, Xbox One. They're transparent. They're telling you what the resolution is. They're telling you what the frame rate is. Now, yesterday, it was time for the showing of how they run on current gen, since we've had them for 6 months, and I don't know which one revealed first, but I just know which one
they dropped at the same time.
So
I think so.
They had the PS4, the PS5 version, and I have to really go to my page to get clear, because I want to make sure I'm reading these word for word. Because we have to analyze this, because the backlash that would come later on is insane.
It's still going on.
And it's still going on. Actually, it hasn't stopped.
It's still going on.
Yeah, THQ Nordic was going in the day, man. I was watching that. I said, oh God, they going in. I said, I'm buying a game off GP. My level one homies was telling me about it. I didn't know what the fuck Biomutant was. I'm copping and joining on PC just off GP. How they stood up for their team and all that. I said, I'm gonna go ahead and cop that, Jay. I'm gonna give them some bread. I got to. Yeah, they went in. They've been going in.
Yeah.
All right. They said
as they should. In
the video, they said, the PlayStation. It says, due to technical reasons, we deactivated native 4K on the PS5 for the release version of the game. Biomutant is currently running at a native 1080p upscaled to 4K on PS5. Now that prompted me to ask my question, because I didn't see at this point I haven't seen the trailers yet, the gameplay trailers yet. So I asked the account. Man, I'm trying not to read the comments. That prompted me to ask, What about the Xbox Series X and Xbox One X version? Are they both doing 1080p 60, or can the Xbox Series X tap into native 4K support? And they answered that question with no hesitation. They said Xbox Series X will have native 4K at launch, not upscaled. And yeah, so right now the game Biomutant is a last-gen game. And it's, I think, 1080p 60 on, I think, both the PS4 Pro, Xbox One X. It is 30 frames per second on the base consoles. And on the next-gen consoles, obviously, PS5 is getting it at the PS4 Pro's performance target, which is 1080p 60.
1080p 60.
And don't fall for the stupid upscaling thing. They don't have to say it upscales. The Xbox One S upscales to 4K. As long as it's connected to a 4K display, it will upscale. It doesn't mean it changes the graphics. It's just meaning it's gonna scale it's gonna look properly.
Yeah, it's gonna fill out the resolution when your TV, so you want that fucking black box or the black corners or whatever. And that's all that is doing it.
So, let me just say this, because they had comparison screenshots and videos and shit. That shit look blurry on PS5. That 1080p look blurry. That shit look fuzzy. Okay, that shit. Listen. And I know people are saying, well, people didn't care about 1080p on Returnal, which I did. I said when Returnal came out, I said that shit looked fuzzy, it looked blurry. And I'm saying the same thing about Biomutant. That shit looks blurry on PS5. Like who seriously, who wants to sit here? Who wants to play a game on a next gen console that's 1080p, dog? And we out here buying these OLED TVs and things of that nature. Like, who wants to sit here and play games at 1080p? Like,
I'll say this. I think you mentioned that Returnal is at 1080p, but I was having so much. Right. Yeah, and I was having so much fun with it. It didn't really matter, of course. And I'm gaming on the monitor. Ain't no
it's not going to be. Yeah, it's not going to be an issue.
So I noticed. that it's just you know, but.
Returnal, it's a good game. No, don't get me wrong about that, but it's blurry.
These joints got Zen 2 processors in them joints, though. Like I don't know, and I'm not going to shit on the developer. I'm not going to sit on THQ Nordic either.
No.
I don't know, like what the actual issue is. Hopefully, I think Frog said it in the chat. It's going to get patched and everything will be fine. But
both versions
it's wild, though.
Both versions are getting a native port just later. Like both versions are getting a native version just down the road.
So people are accusing them, they're blaming the developers. And mind you, this team is only a team of 20 people that made the game. They're accusing them of being paid by Microsoft to do this, even though this game is nowhere near on Game Pass. It's not on Game Pass. It's not on Game Pass. It's people are saying like, this is a developer problem. This is not a PlayStation problem. When in actuality, it is a PlayStation problem. Now, I'm not saying the PlayStation is weak or anything, but the PlayStation wasn't engineered as well. Now,
when it comes to backwards compatibility,
they made the PS5. So when it comes to games developing for the PS5, they made a marvelous machine. Their machine, however, was not made to take best advantage of all games. Only PS5 games were made to flourish on the PS5. The PS5 can't take advantage of all games, which I call it was under-engineered, and I'm sticking by that. I'm not wrong for saying that, but I'm just saying, if you think, hold on, we have obviously COVID. We know how generational leaps change. Cross-gen games exist. It just ever since we knew that was going to be a thing. So Xbox made a box that is very that was meant to run games. Now you can't really hate on Xbox for when they say all games plays best on the Xbox. When they were marketing, plays best on Xbox, all games will play best on Xbox. They were literally meant it. Like they meant it as in all games, old or new, you know what I mean? Current gen, BC, and a lot of people keep running with this narrative. It's BC. We already know that Xbox is BC better. It's old games. Biomutant is not an old game. The game comes out next week. It comes out next week. Stop calling it old. It comes out next week. And the Xbox, so PlayStation, when it comes to games being developed, as PS4 games, right? The PlayStation pretty much runs it as a PS4, and whatever, and that's it. For some reason, all that extra power can't be used, and for them to tap into that extra power, they have to release a PS5 version, like a separate version. Whereas Xbox, they're in a situation where they treat all games as one. A game on Xbox is a game on Xbox, and Xbox is now more like a PC than anything. It's just that we have three different. You have multiple different Xbox systems, and then whichever Xbox system you have is going to determine which version, how powerful, how good you're going to run it. The Xbox Series X can take any game. That's why I'm happy about all these cross-gen games that's coming out. If they're not enhanced for this Series X purposely, the Series X is going to do it for me. So the Series X is literally just playing. It's like, all right, we're going to take the game is literally running the Xbox One X version. Okay, boom. What is it running on Xbox One X? 1080p 60? All right, we're doing 4K 60. That's it.
I got a question.
The game's, I'm sorry, the game is allowed to run as best as possible on Xbox's new Xbox. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're straight. Didn't Housemarque had the same issue with Returnal though? Because a lot of people were asking them about the resolution. It was like, well, it's not really our fault. That's PlayStation fault. And I hope I'm not speaking out of turn.
No.
Yeah, like that.
Their issue.
Yeah. Oh, so what's the issue?
Their issue, but it wasn't PlayStation's fault on the resolution. It was why it was crashing. They blamed PlayStation on the crashes that were going on. Even though the game had about like 7 patches. Their 1080p version was design choice, particle effects.
Gotcha.
So they said the game could have been a native 1440p experience. It could have been, but due to all of the particles and stuff and how they wanted to kind of add that visual flair, they decided, you know what, let's drop the resolution some more. Let's add all these, effects going on. And then we'll cheat our way up to 1440p and then glaze it over with like some 4K upscaler. But what it did was all those cheating methods just presented a fuzzier look when you're looking at like details. The game in motion, I'm sure it looks beautiful. You got lights and different things. Like the game looks beautiful in motion. But if you were to sit there, stand still and look at the game, start looking at it, you're going to some of the details aren't going to look that great. And when you cheat 4K, it gives off this fuzzy look. Checkerboard for it. It gives off this weird, like, I don't know, like I noticed it when I played Godfall. I was disappointed because I'm thinking Godfall is going to be the best looking game, and I'm like, this game is so noisy. It's shiny and it has this noisy look to it. So but that's that. So Returnal, like, their issue, like they could have targeted a higher resolution, but to get what they wanted, they went from a baseline of 1080p. Biomutant is just, it's running the PS4 Pro. It's just sad that the PS5 isn't able to really take games and allow that extra power to be used to enhance the resolution. That's why I said God bless dynamic resolutions and and unlock frame rates, because any game that's running on these consoles should do what it needs to do, and that's it. So hey. But I'm looking forward to Biomutant.
Yeah, me too. The game looks really cool. Like I've been watching some gameplay videos of it. It looks right up my alley as far as RPG go.
It's an RPG.
What'd you say?
It's an RPG.
It's an RPG.
Can y'all two explain it to me? Because like I said, my level 1 homies, they was trying to explain it to me. I'm not really sure what's going on with Biomutant. So like, what is it for the people who may not even know what it is? Because this game did just kind of blow up out of nowhere.
Story wise, I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
I don't think they've released like a true in-depth story trailer.
Okay.
But like gameplay wise, I would kind of like compare it to some people are comparing it to like Zelda. Mixed in with some Fable-ish type melee gameplay. It has guns.
I heard like the customization is pretty good.
I'm looking forward to different type of cats I can make. You can make a fat cat, skinny, long time. You can change it. I'm looking forward to that, dude.
Yeah, depending on your attributes, it will morph and deform your character to correspond with how you're. So like if I put points into charisma, my dude's gonna have a big head because he got a big head because he has a big brain, I guess. So
got you.
But yeah, so I mean, it's like I haven't really dove deep into like the gameplay. I mean, like I've seen the some gameplay trailers, but like I haven't really like just sat and dive deep in all of them to get like a real good grasp on it. But what I have seen is intriguing. So
is it
but
just co-op at all?
Oh no,
I'm not sure.
I don't think so. Yeah. I don't think it's multiplayer at all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, intellect. Yeah, there you go. But I will say this though. So I was planning on getting it on the PS5, right? But knowing what it is now, I'm not so depending because like I don't want to go into this game right. Because a native current gen version is coming out, like I don't want to play this game in the state it is in right now. So like I'm kind of holding out. I know I could get the Series X version. I know I can do that, but even still, it would still be the last gen. Like it wouldn't be as good.
Here, hold up. Let me end this. Hold on. You just said, all right. None of us know what the next gen version is going to look like, right? Right.
So
right now, there's the best looking version. Not even because I don't mind. I'll buy this shit right now, knowing that there's a next gen version coming out. Because at the end of the day, regardless,
I won't play it again. That's the thing. Like, I won't play the game if you know.
I don't think the improvements is going to be that drastic. All we're waiting for is PlayStation to catch up and get 4K. That's all. It's going to be faster. It's going to be 4K and faster loading. That's all we're waiting for. Xbox already has the next gen version. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's technically not the native next gen, but 4K 60. What more can you ask for? What faster loading?
You can have enhanced textures, better ambient occlusion, better lighting. You can have all that good.
But how do you know how much better do you know it's gonna look? We haven't seen it. It ain't like we saw a preview.
That's the thing. No, I'm waiting. That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna enjoy that 4K 60 now, and then whatever I get after that is gonna be a bonus. The game is supposed to be like 60+ hours. You'll have time. You'll have time.
You never know, man. You never know.
I ain't worried about none of this shit before you get that super chest move. I'm getting this shit on PC, dog. I'm already.
There you go.
Yeah, like I'm
gonna have the best version.
He ain't gonna have the best version. I'm sorry. Y'all keep sleeping on Xbox for real, dog.
Stop it, man. Come on, man.
You know who got the best version of Resident Evil?
Oh,
who was that?
Xbox.
Why you say that?
Because what the type of PC you has to have to get it to where it's just. To get it, I don't want to say playable, but to get it to the point where it could be comparable, or where you could flex and say, "Oh, my version is better than the Xbox version." You have to get an expensive ass card. So,
Xbox is Ti still holding strong. I mean, I'll say that. If you got like a 30 series, you got like a 3070,
you
3080,
need a 30 series
3090.
card to beat the Xbox in Resident Evil 8.
My 2080 Ti still doing that though, Smooth. Hold on.
Is it beating the Series X? No, I'm saying you need a 30 series card to beat the Series X version. To beat it. Not to be comparable, not to be comparable or comparable, to beat it.
I believe, I definitely believe my 20. Smooth, you wildin'. I think my 2080 Ti is outperforming both of these damn consoles. We not doing that. That's AMD architecture. I got an NVIDIA architecture. I'm straight. Like I know that difference. If I don't know nothing else.
But didn't Resident Evil partner with AMD for this game? Aren't they shipping with those cards?
Sure.
They're shipping with AMD.
I have no idea. I don't know anything about PC.
I know Resident Evil dude, so I wouldn't know. I couldn't tell you.
Shout out to Tony Esquire for $5. He's coming at me hard. He says, "Yo, Smooth, you're very entertaining, but keep it real, fam. Xbox just isn't as good as PlayStation right now. No exclusive is damn near anti-consumer." Okay. Dope is Jay, my Planet Xbox brother.
What's up, Dope? What's up, Jay?
He says, shout out to you guys, the realists in the community. Make sure everyone drop a like and share the stream, yo. Appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for coming through. Shout out to Hustle and Motivate. Make sure you subscribe to him and follow him on Twitter for joining us in these heated debates, man. I'm trying to have those clippable moments, man. So
these are Kid Smooth's thoughts, man. Listen, these is his thoughts alone, dog.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, my biggest gripe, right? Because people haven't been taken kindly to my constant reminders of games running at 120 frames per second on the Xbox, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So one of the knocks that people have, and they try to shut me up, is that, like, for example, Mass Effect came out. You could play that 120 frames on Xbox and 60 frames everywhere else, but 120 frames only on Xbox or PC, right? Mm-hmm. So people will be like, "Oh my God, it's dropping to 8," because I think Mass Effect 1 drops the lowest at this point. You get like 80 plus frames per second, right?
Yeah,
right. And I'm looking at these people. I'm like, "Oh, so that's your knock? That's your knock." 80. Oh, so you're when a frown upon 80 frames per second. You know why that had me laughing? Because I'll have PC dudes, right? They'll brag about how much more frames they're getting over Xbox and PlayStation 4 on a particular game on a particular resolution. Where them frame rates be at? Oh, I'm getting that 77 frames per second. Oh, 77 frames. Wow. Why are you bragging about 77 frames per second? Oh, because it's higher than 60. That's why. So like, you can't be flaunting like I'm getting around 70, 80 frames per second at this resolution, and then we know Xbox is capable of hitting 120 frames per second, and then if a game drops to 80, you got a point to say, "Oh, that's bad." No, you playing games at 77 frames per second is bad. That uneven ass frames. Like, how do you like? Come on, don't do that.
I think it's funny you say that, right, Smooth? But a lot of people, first of all, you got to make sure you got the monitor to even push like that. I think you got that monitor, you got that jiggy ass TV the way it's the. What's that? The C9 or whatever. The C9.
Yeah, CX. Yeah.
I've ascended. Right, I have a CX. Right, I have an Xbox on the CX. But right now, the monitor that's in front of my face right now is the first to market HDMI 2.1 monitor by Gigabyte.
I saw that. No, but the point I want to like really bring up and drive home is, first of all, you gotta have a monitor to drive that shit. Yeah. Secondly, you gotta make sure I have FreeSync in it or G-Sync in it, because if you don't got that shit, you got screen turn all over the place. And then like when you go from 100 frames to like 80 frames or whatever, when I do the shit on PC, I don't notice it's like a G-Sync in my monitor. When they notice it, it's gonna be, oh my God, it's like, what's going on? Because they're not gonna know. But like, don't. When they talk about the frame rate shit, like, ask some type of monitor they got. I got, me and BG and Blaze got the same monitor. Yeah. I'm gonna upgrade to that fly ass OLED that I think that you Cognito and a few other people got. I'm gonna end up getting that. Yeah. But but we gotta ask them questions first. Like, first of all, that game might be hitting 120 frames. Motherfucker, can you see it? Can you see it? I'm just asking. Can you see it? Never mind. Let me stop being messy, man. But we gotta ask them questions first. Like, because I got into PC gaming for all this, like the smooth frame rate, and I'll go back to 1440p at 21:9. That's the very first monitor I had. Was a Predator X joint, 35 Z35p or whatever. I'll go back to that, just to like, because my cards are like super powerful now. And speaking of which, it's easier for you to get a graphics card at this point because of whatever's going on in China. They said it's easier. They said it's gonna be easy. Yeah, it is easier now.
Yeah. That's what I was waiting.
I need. That's all I need is a new GPU. I got a fine CPU. I got what was it? I got what do I have? A i900, whatever. I recently got it's an Intel CPU. I don't have a Ryzen, but I had like the high end. I got it from Cat Daddy Fast Stack. Shout out to him if he's here. I added I upgraded my RAM. I put an extra SSD in my PC. The only thing I'm missing is a current gen GPU. I don't want a 30 series. I don't need it. I have an Xbox for that. I'll take a 20 series if I can get one.
You're a fool for that.
This man,
come on, man.
hey, real quick before we move on, shout out to Bless Red in the chat. He's talking a little spicy in that joint,
that's my audio guy. Anything I need audio from.
That motherfucker's a psycho
my audio guy. Yeah, this nigga be spending $1,500 on some headphones.
I'm gonna put it in perspective. My complete audio setup with the mic and all this shit, it's around $1,500. It's probably a little bit more now since I upgraded my microphone.
Yeah.
Bro, man, you spent that shit on headphones.
No, never.
Let me hold something.
My budget for headphones is $122. B, like that's $99 plus tax. Shout out to Tony Esquire again. He says Hustle and Motivate is one of the YouTube personalities that got me into PC gaming. Shout out to you, fam. Sure. I got an Odyssey G9 monitor, good monitor. PC Master Race, boom. Blessed Red says I have a i7 9700K. That's the type of CPU I have. i7 9700K. So I think,
I think you meet that threshold to where, like, if you get a 3000 series card, because I meet that because I got an 8600K. So you meet that threshold to where you can get a card and be straight or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, so you be all right.
Yeah. Shit. I mean, I just might just put a freaking. Never mind. Don't like shout out to the chat, you guys. Also, if you're not a channel member, man, join the channel. There's a link for you guys to upload gameplay for this show for Let's Talk Games and Planet Xbox podcast. Like I said, we're gonna be changing some things. I got some things coming because people want me to take my channel seriously, and I like where this podcast is going. So once again, thank you guys for tuning in.
Definitely.
Man, what else is going on? So we got Biomutant pretty much trending on Twitter for over 24 hours for the wrong reasons. The PlayStation fans are going in on these developers. Whose side are you taking? Have you seen any of the content that's been going on?
Yeah, as far as like the people trying to get at THQ Nordic. Yeah. I mean, I've been seeing it, man. I mean, I'm not taking any side. Like what? So first of all, they're a 20-man team, right? Yeah. And obviously, the PS4, the PS5, I mean, backwards compatibility isn't as up to snuff as Xboxes. So clearly, this is what they could do, barring that it is a backwards compatible title. I mean, what else do you want them to do?
Some of the replies they said, right? This dude said, Microsoft paid you. This dude, one dude said, and the THQ response, I wish.
Right.
And then they said something that kind of caught me by surprise. People when they were going and I want to find the original message that sparked the reply for them to say that.
And one thing real quick, I just want to I said this on Twitter. I just said this on Twitter real quick. PlayStation guys needs to stop trying to fight the resolution or like battle. 9 times out of 10 you are not going to win that battle. So I don't care what you just stop. You're not going to win that battle. Keep it to the games. Like I told them, if you bring up that PlayStation has better games, you will win that argument every time.
Yeah.
So just stop it with the resolution talk. You know what I'm saying?
Dre, that's the best advice you give some of these guys because the reason why I'm going back and forth for a lot of people, it's not because they're telling me PlayStation game has better games than Xbox. I would never argue with them on that. I never argue with them. Anything else, you give me room to argue. But so if all
you put yourself in the corner when you bring up resolution and just like listen, PlayStation has the better games, and that'll kill everything. Like I just like PlayStation dudes argue ass backwards, man. Like they don't know what kind of ammunition to use just to shut the whole argument down. But y'all keep doing your thing, man.
So so I guess the dude probably felt like a jackass because he deleted his tweet. But THQ responded to that tweet saying, "Better that than unhappy customers." Now I'm assuming better that than unhappy customers. What would have presented unhappy customers? Badly performing game, or the game not releasing on the platform at all, or not being playable on the platform at all. So you gotta think. But the thing I get surprised at them going at this team like that. It's like, why y'all didn't roll up on BioWare when they did the Mass Effect release? Xbox is only Xbox is bodying that game too. Why didn't y'all roll up on Jedi Fallen Order before they dropped the next gen version, right? Why didn't they roll up on Rocket League? They told you straight, hey, it's complicated. So for when they got that 120 frames, there's a lot of these developers coming out when these games happen that they put out this information, and nope, these dudes don't got the smoke for them. They gave these guys smoke because they were really interested in the game. That's what it tells me. It's just a lot of people were really interested in this game. I remember Wooly Gamer hyping this game up, so I'm curious to see what he's saying about this resolution stuff. A lot of people are damage controlling. People are canceling their pre-orders. People saying don't buy it. What about just like in games? What about supporting the developers?
That's good that you brought that up because that's good. That's good that you brought that up because now I just want to see, right? Because it seems like the Xbox camp is back in this game and the PlayStation camp is, shitting on this game, quote unquote, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I'm curious to see the sales of this game, right? I'm curious to see which platform it sells better on. Yep. So I'm kind of curious because
I can answer that question for you.
Pass either, so it's not a game pass.
So we got no choice but to buy it.
Yeah, we got to buy it. Right,
I'm buying the game. Like I said, my only reservations about buying this game was I needed to confirm if it was 60 frames per second or not. I would have bought it at 1080p 60. Regardless, I was willing to do it. It's been in my cart this entire time. I just needed them to confirm that I won't be playing it at 30 frames per second. That was my only concern with this game. I'm buying the game, right? But the problem with this comparison, the PlayStation version of these games is going to smash the Xbox version of these games because you can forget the PS4 still exists. There's still a lot of PS4 customers.
You're not gonna do that, Smooth.
Why not?
Nope.
The PS4 is there's how many PS4s out there? PS4 it has to be PC or PS4 that wins this.
Install base does not matter. Install base does not matter.
Why not?
Because this game could sell 5 million copies, right? And there's more than 5 million units on both sides. So this game could potentially sell 4 million units on Xbox and only 1 million on PlayStation.
Bro, come on!
I think that's unlikely, Dre. I think that's unlikely.
That's never been a good.
Dre, let's play it this way. Let's play it. 20%. All right, let's do. This is why you have to take install size into consideration. If 10% of Xbox players are interested in this game, is willing to buy it. And the same 10% on PlayStation is larger than the 10% on Xbox, and then the 10% on PC is larger than that 10% on PlayStation. So No. You can't do that.
I see what you're saying, but even still, it could go either way. It could go either way. Like I said, if it sells 10 million, right? That could be.
Yo, guess what? You want to hear something crazy? You want to hear something crazy? Everybody in this podcast watching right now can buy Biomutant for Xbox, and it would not make a difference.
That's true. That's true. 100% right.
Everybody. It would not make a difference. Would not make it. So me saying everyone, if I had the power to influence all of you to buy Biomutant for Xbox, it would not have an impact on how much sold on the overall picture. It would not.
I think we have to look at its total sales number and then trickle it down from there.
I think this developer is going to be very. I think this information, this is bittersweet. I feel like even though they're getting a lot of backlash, but they're getting a lot of respect. They're getting a lot of clout. It's like, remember what happened? What's that game? That dude who copied this dude review. What game was that? Dead Cells, right? Nobody was checking for that game until that scandal happened, and that game literally got notarized because of that scandal. This Biomutant now, people were checking for it. It was going to be. I felt like it was going to be a sleeper hit, but now it's on the radar. I hope this game does well. I hope it sells well. I hope it sells very well.
Me too, man.
I'm copping the joint on PC, and just based off of cause I didn't know too much about it, but based off of that exchange I saw, how they was rolling, I said, shit, man, let me go ahead and give them 60 right quick. I'm gonna cop it on PC though. That's for damn sure. Yeah, it doesn't really matter where you pick it up, PlayStation, Xbox, whatever. However you pick it up, however you consume this, you consume it. But if this is supposed to be like that next sleeper hit, because I look at Kenna Bridges Spirits.
I cannot wait.
That's not a sleeper hit though. It's not a sleeper hit.
When I first saw it, when I did that reaction to it, I was like, yo, that joint, it reminded me of Cameo. And I know that guy.
I love music. Cameo.
Yeah, no, it definitely did, and you can look at it now and see that. But like, that's kind of like the mind frame it put me in. But no, I'll look up some more videos. And I'm a cop shit anyway. I'm a cop about it anyway.
And I don't want to dismiss what you're saying in terms of being a sleeper hit. When I say it's not a sleeper hit, I feel like Kenna's going to be a hit because the hype has been there from the beginning. As soon as we saw, and then PlayStation's backing it, it's expect, and now it has some sort of expectation. Biomutant had no expectation. It was going to be that niche title that just hopefully catches on and over time does something with like a community. But now it has an opportunity to be like, oh, this is something. Kenna, I felt like was always going to come spearheading because of the PlayStation backing, because of how much they're supporting it. So that's why I say it's not going to be a sleeper hit. I think Kenna's just going to be a hit.
Yeah. All right. Well, I look forward to both of those games either way. I can't wait for Kenna, dog. Like that. Yeah, I got that joint pre-order paid for, dog. Yeah.
So
I'm ready.
Grand Theft Auto.
Oh shit!
I forgot all about you. Hey, look,
oh boy,
man. Okay, Grand Theft Auto coming out November 11th. We finally got a confirmation date. Still haven't seen no gameplay.
Nope.
But like I told fools on Twitter, man, I'm gonna be one of the reasons why that game is still on the top 10 NPDs, dog. I'm getting that game.
me too, dog. I'm PS5.
Man. That's crazy.
I'm getting that game, dog. I'm sorry.
Did you own this game on a PS3 or the 360?
360.
Did you own this game on a PS4 or the Xbox One?
PS4.
And now you're about to own this game.
Yep.
This is bad. This is bad. Now
it's Rockstar, man. What you want me to do, man?
That is bad. That is absolutely bad. And this is why I support FPS boost. Because so publishers can't do shit like this, yo. Gonna sell the game. This game's gonna sell another 20 million.
Yep. Yes, it is.
So y'all want to hear something crazy?
What's up?
What's that?
The Last of Us finna do the same shit. It's on PS3. Yeah. It's a remastered on PS4, and we all know it's rumored to come out on
PS5.
I'm part of the blame for this shit too. I bought that shit on PS3 day one. Grand Theft Auto 5, beat that shit in like 4 days. I bought it on PS4 just for like the peyote plants and all that, just to test that out, just to run with that. And
supposedly,
I bought it on PC and shit. And, for the multiplayer, and I bought it for PC. I'm about to shit on PS5 though. I can't help.
How much is this game going to be?
Oh, it's
$60. $60 or $70.
Yeah, this is full price.
Ain't nobody.
This is $70, dog. Hell
criminal.
Yeah. Because they're supposed to be adding in new things, as well as it being enhanced, right? And so, okay, there is one caveat that I have though. If this game is 30 frames, I'm not buying it. It has to be 60 in order for me to buy it. So if it's 30 frames, I won't touch it.
Okay, I'm gonna hold you to that.
I will try not. There we go. Yeah,
I'm gonna hold you to that because they're gonna be like, it's like it's not 60, but it's ray traced.
yeah. So it better be I think it would be a blow if it's not 60, dog.
Yeah, because Grand Theft Auto already, I feel like even this one looks good. Unfortunately, it never got like an Xbox One X enhancement or a PS4 Pro enhancement. It's just, but it looks good. But I think what was the biggest difference for next gen? Was it they put first person mode?
Yeah, first person mode.
Yeah, first person mode.
Got a graphical upgrade. That was pretty much it.
It's still for a very long time. It's still loaded like shit. I got an NVMe drive on my PC, right? And I was kicking on my homie Ricky. I was like, yo, why the fuck this shit taking so long? And he was like, yo, he said, that's just Grand Theft Auto. So what happened was somebody had fixed it and they paid, like, it's a random motherfucker who fixed it. And they paid him 10 racks for it. I said, damn, I wish I knew how to fix it. I could use the extra 10 grand, dog. Like, nah. Man. Ugh.
So, yeah. GTA 5, dog.
I'm just loading up boss fights.
So,
but
go ahead.
So like, depending on how this looks, will definitely give us like some kind of give us some kind of insight on what potentially GTA 6 looks like if it ever even comes out.
Yeah.
Well, I think GTA 6 will look miles ahead of even the PS5 versions of GTA 5, but you know,
I think my biggest concern about GTA 6, I'll even wait for it. Like I want DLC for Part 5 is what I really want, because we got that with Part 4 and they had those 2 expansions. I know it ain't, because GTA Online just popped all the way off. Hey, I don't know how much money y'all want to bet. I'm willing to bet you if you beat the game on PS3, Xbox, whatever, right, and PS4, whatever. What's the rare achievement like percentage on that? It's like gotta be like 10%. I know 140 million motherfuckers ain't beat that game, dog. Like I know for a fact they didn't, man.
Yeah, I gotta check that.
Yeah,
that number gonna be wild, and I ain't finna be surprised. As far as Part 6, hopefully it's in Vice City, and it's rumored that you'll be flying back and forth.
See, I don't see. I'm getting tired of them using the same locales, man. I back in the day, I brought up that it would be dope if GTA 6 was set in Mexico, because with Mexico you got the whole cartel and all that jazz. So
Ray, I'm going to cut you off, but apparently they said South America, so you're going to fly back and forth at some point.
That's the rumor.
That's one of the rumors, and they said it's going to be in different time periods. They said this was going to take place in the 70s, and then they allegedly jumped the current day. I'm like, I don't know how they're going to pull that off. Yeah, but they said it's supposed to be. Look, I
mean,
I got it.
Yeah, I would love. I mean, Vice City would definitely look beautiful with the neon lights and all that stuff. But I'm just ready for them to use a totally new location for Grand Theft Auto. Like we've seen it all before. So I mean, but we'll see.
So Starfield's back in the news and so there's never been, outside of it being announced, there hasn't been any official announcement for this game, its release, and whatever. So last week or 2 weeks ago, Jeff Grubb confirmed on Twitter that it was exclusive to Xbox and PC, as expected.
Starfield.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Now Jason Schreier has come out and to try to simmer everybody down to try to kill the notion that it's not coming out this year. He says it's coming out 2022, and he's pretty much hinting at late 2022. And so that sort of got everybody out of out of whack. Because Dre, I've said it many times on this podcast, if Xbox can roll out Halo, Forza, and Starfield this year, I don't think anybody can say anything. I don't want to hear anything about no games, none of that shit. They just shut up. All right. But obviously, now I don't want to say but if they don't have that, now you're just looking at Forza hasn't even been confirmed yet. That could be even next year as well. And then you look at Halo, it's looking spooky. And when you look at the outlook on the Xbox first party and when these games are possibly coming, Matt Booty had an interview. He confirms that a lot of stuff was impacted by COVID, as many others. You got we're hearing games that won't be at E3, even though we got no real plausible leaks, but people are saying, don't expect Fable, Avowed, or Perfect Dark, or Everwild, any of that stuff at E3. If they're not going to be at E3 this year, that means they ain't coming out next year. So we're looking at 2023 and beyond for a lot of these games. So I just want I guess y'all's take on what should we expect at E3 about Starfield, and are we going to be devastated with whatever news that they come out? Are we going to be surprised or devastated?
I'll kick this one off. If I'm Microsoft on Xbox, I would drop that game later on in the year. Dude, Smooth, look what you just said, right? All in 2021, you would have what you said Halo, right? Starfield, and I think you said a third title, correct?
Forza Horizon 5.
Bro, if I'm them, I wouldn't do it. I just off the hey, I want you to have time to play this one, had time to play Halo, because that's the supposed to be the marquee franchise over there, And then like, yo, I would wait. I would push that up as long as possible. Now we know with Bethesda, like they don't play when they come to release dates. If they show some shit, then we know that joint dropping 6 months later or whatever the case may be. We saw it with Doom Eternal, we saw it with OG Doom, we saw it with a lot of like the Bethesda stuff. But if I'm them, I would personally like push it out, and I think Microsoft may follow suit with that. I'm cool with that joint just taking this time, because the last thing I would want in a game like that, which I just found out what it was. Shout out to Tony Polanco. He had to explain this shit to me. I said, "What's Starfield?" He was like, "Oh, it's Fallout in space." I said, "All right, cool," because I didn't know what the fuck was going on. Right. The last thing I would want is Bethesda to drop a game like that, because y'all know they're known affectionately as Bugthesda, right? Mm-hmm. They got that name in there. They got that name in there. Nah, you got Microsoft behind you. You got rep for other people now, dog. Y'all remember with Fallout 76 how Todd Howard, he said, "Yo, we went to Phil and we went to Matt, and he was like, yo, how do we fix this shit? Because this is bad." So I don't think that's gonna happen again. So I think it's gonna be pushed out a little bit later. I think Rand did a video, and I want to say he said February of next year. I'm okay with that. Now Jason Schreier coming out, and no disrespect to Jason Schreier, of course, but I mean, if you're gonna ask me who I trust, it's the man with the million. I'm gonna keep it all the way up. I don't give a fuck if he don't got no industry connections. Like, he's been right more often than he's been wrong. All due respect to Jason Schreier, but I think it'll drop like February, maybe March of next year. But it should not come out this year. I got reservations on that whole thing, and I'll see what it's hitting for. I'll at least, the very least, I'll try it. But I think it should definitely drop next year. And real quick before y'all go, X-Move, you remember the shit about Xbox, right? They was like, Xbox ain't got no games. Xbox got too many games. Like, that whole fucking lineup, even with the stuff that we don't know about yet, it's gonna be a thing. Like, they're gonna have to push. They're gonna have to find a way to like drop. They're gonna drop shit like every month. We're gonna get to a point in this gen where they're gonna be dropping shit like every month, dog. Like, yo, how wild is that?
I think that the target is to have like they want to have a major game for every quarter, and then like things in between, like to carry it. So I mean, this year my disappointment is more so the fact that I feel like the launch, man. It's like I feel like they made an incredible console for their situation. In terms of not having like, brand new first party games, they've had made a machine where it's like, you know what, hey, your library is just gonna be like, we're gonna do this FPS boost. We're gonna make sure that these cross-gen games is at least able to take advantage of the console and whatnot and run at higher frame rates, higher resolutions and stuff. But it is missed. No, I feel like, man, we could have at least used one game, a series game at launch. I feel like this year it's like, there's a ton of games scheduled to come out, but they don't have no weight behind their names. They could be something, but they're not. They're not from first party. They're not Halo. They're not Gears or anything like that. But they do have a lot of exclusives coming this year. But it's hard to brag about them when the games, they're all new, and they're all partnerships. So like MechWarrior 5, isn't that exclusive? It comes out next week. It's exclusive. It comes out next week. MechWarrior 5 comes out. We know Scorn, Stalker 2, Crossfire, stuff like that. Those all could be things, but I feel like I wish they pushed these games more, advertise them more so we could see them, put them on Front Street, let us know what we're getting into, because I don't like how that all these games are coming and we don't know what they are. We just know them based off name or a screenshot or a little small sizzle reel. I feel like if you know you're not going to be able to deliver on a first party standpoint, we know Halo, you're going to do the marketing effort with Halo when it's time to start rolling that out. But you have to start putting these games that you're partnering with to help fill that buffer time with some marketing effort to get us hyped for these games, even though if we don't know what they are. Like fucking Kenna is nothing without PlayStation behind it. Sure, it's a game that looks good, right? But PlayStation is pushing it. They're advertising. They're making us want it. I need Xbox to do that with the Dark Tide game that's coming out. I think I need Xbox to do that with Stalker 2. I need Xbox to do that with Scorn. They have to do it with all these partnerships. The Accent is about to start getting some. That's coming in rotation. I'm looking forward to it. But I need them to be on it. I need the marketing dollars to start talking. Sell me.
But yeah, both of y'all right. Both y'all right. I think it is good though that Starfield is coming later than this year. Halo needs all the shine.
But Halo needs
like,
to be all the way good.
Halo Infinite needs to be the focus of this holiday. So there should be no other game that detracts anything from Halo, and Starfield definitely would have been that distraction. So pushing it back to 2021, 2022. That needed to happen. I do think though they need to show it at E3. They need to show some kind of gameplay montage, or they need to show something, and then at the end of that trailer, 2022, 2023, not even a release date, just a release year, whatever year is coming in. But yeah, so and they do need to start marketing these lesser titles that complement Halo.
Yeah.
And I think that I think we're going to see that at E3.
Yeah.
Now whether all of them come out this year, who knows? I think some will be getting sprinkled here in the next couple of months leading up to the release of Halo. But yeah, Starfield being pushed back was great. Was definitely the right move, because Halo needs all the attention. It needs it. Like, I don't even Forza is a racing game, and if you like racers, you're gonna get it or not. If you don't, you're not. To be honest, depending on when is Forza supposed to be releasing?
Forza's their release window is typically September. Okay. They're generally September when Forza is like Bethesda, right? When they show Forza, it comes out it usually kicks off the fall of releases for Xbox. So
I would actually I don't know how far in development they are, but I would actually think an August launch would be better.
Yeah, but August, I think, is Flight Sim, the console version.
Oh, okay.
Flight Sim, and they still. And remember, Psychonauts 2 is also technically theirs. That's Double Fine. That's their first party game. The things that throws it off is that they have to release it on PS4 due to the crowdfunding thing. But it's not releasing on the PS5, so you'll be playing the 1080p 30 frames per second version on the on PS5, while it be 4K 60 on the Series X and whatnot. So that's if anybody want to cap for Psychonauts, you can cap that it's the next gen. The next gen is only next gen on Xbox. Where the PS4, the PS5, PS4, and Xbox One version will be the same. Where the Series X is the
bullshit. That's some bullshit.
And the Series X and the Series X and PC versions will be the ones that shine. So they got Psychonauts. All right, Psychonauts. I'm gonna count Psychonauts for the simple fact it's going to be Game Pass, right? That's going in Game Pass. So they got that. That has to come out sometime. I'm saying Psychonauts, if it's not an E3 drop, but I think they want some marketing. They just had the Game Informer covers. I'm going to say Psychonauts is probably launching in July.
Okay.
I think Flight Sim is launching in August. I think September you get the Gunk along with Forza Horizon 5. I think in October you get Crossfire X and something else. And I think in November you get Halo.
You got the Ascent in July too.
The Ascent is also in July.
Yeah,
I've heard good things about that game. Actually,
it looks really good.
Yeah.
That game looks really good.
People going crazy over it.
But like good on them for Starfield. Like I said, we just need this because nobody knows what Starfield is.
We just want it to be like. No, you know what my fear is, and why I think Xbox needs I want Xbox to have this many games to launch from their first break, because I think I don't know how Halo Infinite is going to turn out. If Halo Infinite lives up to if 343 delivers Halo like Halo is supposed to be delivered, then the only game you really need is Halo.
That's
That's the Halo is Hollywood. Halo's the like for when Xbox was dropping Halo and Halo as a site, only game we needed that year was Halo. And when it released, so it's like sure, I don't mind them pushing back games and stuff like that and let Halo shine, but I only do that if you know, hey, they coming with it. If Halo if Halo's not going to be the best Halo is going to be, if it's not going to meet those expectations, if it's not going to be that game, then I feel like, damn, I need one of your other studios to help lift this game up. That's where that comes from. That's why I wanted Starfield to be there. I was like, all right, if Halo doesn't do what it needs to do, Bethesda they're a darling. People like their games. Starfield could be the lift up. So if Halo's not great, hey, Starfield is. That's what I was hoping for, pretty much.
That balance.
That balance. Now I think I'm gonna like Halo regardless. But I'm talking about public perception. The Metacritic never agrees with me in the games I like. So my thing was, all right, Metacritic may not like Halo as much as may not like. Maybe they'll treat Halo like an 87, but they might treat Starfield like a 92. So that's what the fallback was, So
yeah. We just like I said, I think we're just going to see we have to see some kind of gameplay.
We're going to see it
or something.
Yeah.
But pushing it back was the right idea.
And we'll do an E3 prediction stuff as we get closer to the dates and stuff. Sorry, Hustle, go ahead.
No, I did want to clarify something though. Dre, you said Starfield was getting pushed back. Starfield ain't never had no date though.
Yeah, that's true. There you go. Yeah,
correct, somebody had to correct me on that earlier today, and I was like, "Well, I said you 100%, or maybe it's last night, whatever." I said you 100% right. They ain't never announced nothing, but
correct.
If I'm Microsoft, man, I want Halo to hit because I want 343. I really want 343 to work on something else. I mean, I know this is like completely different from what we was talking about, but like, we're all creators here. Like, we know how I feel to get burnt out in terms of doing just the same thing over and over again. Like, I get it. I'm pushing for Bonnie Ross. I hope it hit. They've made a lot of changes, a lot of positive changes for Halo, man. And I'm not even a Halo dude. Y'all know I rock with Gears all day. Gears over Halo, in my opinion, but I want that joint to hit because it's a lot that was going on. Like with that, I want a full blown documentary on like the actual trials, tribulations, and hopefully triumph upset game, dog. Because I got some explaining to do, and I want all the details. I need Ryan McCaffrey or one of them to go over that joint, man. Somebody get the G4 icons on. I want all the details on that joint because that's a long fucking ride, man.
Yeah, like I was telling Smooth, Halo cannot just be good. Halo has to be great. Halo has to be great. Like,
let me see if I can find
no other way to put it.
The only mid Mario 3D game was Mario Sunshine. The only mid Mario game was Mario Sunshine, and I don't even think that game was like mid or whatever, right? Can you imagine if Nintendo drops the ball with another Mario? This is exactly why I'm on like Xbox like that, because like that's they Mario, dog. Like you gotta, like regardless how I feel about Gears.
I don't know. Mario gets. I think Mario is one of the most overrated franchises.
We can't do that, y'all. We can't do that. We can't do that.
Mario get praised. That it can have it can have a 60 on Metacritic, and it would still get praised and beloved.
Well, I make that comparison just to say that Halo is really supposed to be like
it's their mascot. It's the go-to. It's the sure shot. That's what it needs to be. And I'm just hoping 343 delivers, and it turns out to be great. But we gotta wrap this up. Make sure you guys subscribe to Hustle and Motivate.
And check your DMs, Smooth. I put it in your I put it in your whatever DM that we made me a part of. I put it in that.
I thought I sent you a separate DM.
Oh shit, baby.
There you go. I'm gonna throw it in the chat here.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna drop in the chat here. I'm gonna update my description to have that's Hustle's channel. Sub to Hustle. Follow him on Twitter.
Oh, I'm like 9 away from 1,000 subs. Like, it was crazy to me, but I'm close. I'm like that close. I'm not that close. I'm gonna get there. Hey, I appreciate y'all. Like for real.
Absolutely.
I told y'all before, and I mean, like Dre, I think we spoke privately about it. Like, yo, don't stop what y'all doing, yo. Hey, smooth. Shout out to you, because this ain't the first time I've seen you give a lot of people opportunity. You may or may not remember. You had something called the Nasher Bros with Audible Gaming. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
It's actually what kind of introduced me to Audible right before the Weapon Will appearance he had. That's my homeboy, man. We all part of the troubleshooters, man. I got a lot of content coming. Tomorrow, at some point, I have the first impressions of Aerial Knights Never Yield. I'm actually looking forward to doing that video. I got the footage. If y'all haven't played that game, please go play it. It's an endless runner. Yo, be black, y'all. Respectfully to anybody who's white or whatever other race you are on the chat, one person made this game. One person. And the music is super fire. But I'm going to go over that in the impressions that I have tomorrow, man. But just, support Smooth, support all of us around here, because it's a lot of us who do like a lot of things, and everybody podcast, you can't be everywhere at once. I understand that, man, but just pull up on your people, just hit the like button, man, just tweet the joint out. Like, y'all gotta understand, like, a lot of that go a long way, and your voice is more powerful than you think it is. Thank y'all for having me.
Thank you for joining.
Thanks for coming through, man. I didn't know you from a hole in the wall, man. But like the support, the support you show is like to everybody, not even to me and Smooth, and like this is the support you show, man, is really, really cool, man. I definitely admire that about you for sure, because like you just like bigging up your people, and that's kind of me too. Like, I just want to see my people. I ain't on no racist shit, but I just want to see people who look like me, thrive, and you definitely support, and man, you are a stand-up dude, man.
I do my best, man. I do my best. I don't really. Smooth didn't help me back in the day. Smooth got me like 100 Twitter followers. Yeah, he got me like 100 Twitter followers. I was like, hey, could you help me? And he said, yeah, I never forgot it. Like, I never forgot that shit. So it's a lot that that I wish that people would do. But a lot of people, like, ain't nobody obligated to help you. But I just feel like
that's true. That is true.
I just what's up, Smooth?
No, I was saying Hustle is one of those type of people, right? And he's so positive and supportive. I realize I know hating is real when you don't like somebody or you have a problem with somebody for being too supportive or being too positive. And I'm like, really, bro?
When I tell you when I saw that, I was like, oh, I'm doing something right. And it's only gonna get worse. If you knew who I was today, it's only gonna get worse. It's only going to get worse. Like, one of the bigger YouTubers was like, I got you, don't worry about it. It's only gonna get worse, man. It's gonna be hard for motherfuckers to breathe. I swear to God, I'm not playing with nobody, dog. I'm not playing, and it's gonna be okay. Listen, it's gonna be okay. I'm just saying, if you slept on me, be prepared to take a dirt nap. It's finna be over for a lot. Never mind. Shut up, Hustle. Look, just go ahead and follow me. Follow me on Twitter, and like if seriously, if you really like do content, and I see a few people in the chat. I see Delilah in the chat. I believe she does grown woman gaming, if I'm not mistaken. Delilah, you feel free to correct me. I know Bless Ready streams and stuff. Like, I'll be around, and but the energy I put out, I'm not sure how it's gonna come back to me and how it's gonna manifest itself, but I just know that you gotta be the change that you want to see.
Yeah.
And that's just it. That's just it. It ain't nothing. Like, I don't be like just trying to like help the people who don't need the help. But like, nah, like if you knew like how many people aren't interacting with on a daily basis, then like like, I'm really serious about mine, and I'm really serious about like building community, and I'm super community driven. I got something to tell y'all, but I'll tell y'all behind the scenes.
All right.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Well, just to give a shout to Emmanuel A1, Delilah HD. I see her in the chat. Bless Red, always coming through. Tony Esquire. Who else I usually come through? I saw Big Cloud was in here earlier. I know he's doing a podcast right now. Appreciate it. Like I said, Dopest J, Active Messiah, all the members, all the channel members. Shout outs to you guys for helping and making this show possible. Help us get better. We appreciate the feedback. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button, and I gotta go to K Mega's podcast fairly soon too. Tracy got news. What up? So we will see you guys next week. Same.
Is that your wife, Tracy got news?
Hell no.
Oh, okay, my fault. Well, because you said your wife had a channel.
Spoil me, Nisi, bro. That's my
okay. Spoil. Okay,
Tracy,
shit, you was big. you was excited about Tracy.
My other channel, Apples and Oranges, he was a part of the A&O podcast.
Oh, that's a guy. Okay, my bad, Tracy. Like, I do apologize.
Oh my God, please.
Hey, wait, can I say one thing before we
go?
I
do apologize.
Yeah.
If go subscribe to Spoil Me Niecy. That Jim Carrey Eddie Murphy argument, boy. I like that joint. I'm not gonna say who wins. I don't want to sway nobody's opinion on it, but yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. But we know who had a hell of a run, boy. And shout out to shout out to Jim Carrey, dog. But he ain't fucking with Eddie. The Beverly Hills Cops. You know what? Never mind. Just go watch the video. It's a real good look. And Smooth, do more of that.
Yeah. No, we made the template. We're gonna try to do more. I'm trying to get her more comfortable with stuff like that. Because I mean, we have a lot of interest. We are big movie dudes. Me and my wife, and I don't want to ramble on, but what we do is every time a movie comes on, right, we test each other's history. We'll sit down, and the first thing we do is like, all right, what year you think this came out? And I'm typically right. Because I'm good with years of when the movie's releases, but we do that every time, man. We got like a bundle of favorite movies, so we're gonna be doing a lot more content together on her channel as well. Shout out to Jack Move Johnny. I keep getting requests to do a show with Jack Move Johnny. Jack Move Johnny, actually, if there's gonna be a show that Jack Move's gonna be on, we will have you on an episode of Let's Talk Games podcast if you'd like to
no doubt.
join. So that would be dope. Otherwise, guys. I gotta get out of here because I gotta take a break and actually spend some time with my family before I jump into another 2-hour podcast. All right.
True that.
Appreciate you guys, man. It's been a pleasure.
Yes, sir.